This is the Fan Connection podcast where we talk all things sports entertainment. We're your hosts. I'm Lewis Michaels.
And I'm Devin Steele.
Let's get right into it. Priest confronts Gunther and talks about cashing in his Money in the Bank contract to win the title.
Okay, so Damian Priest has gotten a lot better. He's a lot more confident, right?
Especially on the mic.
But Gunther, he's got him. And Clash of the Castle, we don't even know it's going to be Damian Priest facing Gunther at SummerSlam. But I think Gunther's taking the title at SummerSlam. It doesn't matter who it is. And he said so. He said it confidently. I believe him.
I believe him too, man. I think that Drew will beat Damian Priest at the upcoming PLE, and then Gunther's taking that title home now.
And I like that they addressed that Randy Orton's shoulders were not down in the King of the Ring finale.
This is a very good promo segment. They brought in a bunch of details I didn't expect to hear.
And so Drew McIntyre then comes out to say his piece.
Right.
And he claims that he's going to beat Damian Priest at Clash of the Castle because he knows all about the business and he's crazy and he's from Scotland and they're going to be at Scotland. And,
he's the only UK born champ, apparently 3 times.
And I'll say Gunther may have bested Damian Priest on the mic, but Damian Priest beat Drew McIntyre. He got under his skin. He got a rise out of Drew McIntyre, and he completely disregarded everything Drew McIntyre was saying.
Yep.
He said, it's like, I'm not worried about Drew McIntyre. I'm worried about SummerSlam already, pretty much.
And Gunther's going to be so much more fresh going into that match too. Either way you look at it, no matter who wins, Drew McIntyre or Damian Priest, whoever he faces is going to be a lot more worn out than he is by the time SummerSlam.
I like Drew. He was saying all that stuff where he's the only champ from the UK,
right? And
people started chanting USA over him.
I'm a US citizen.
And so the Judgment Day, like Braun Strowman comes out. Why? What is Braun Strowman doing out there during this segment?
Braun Strowman had nothing to do with anything, and he just chased around JD McDonough for no reason.
JD McDonough hit him with a chair, and it made Big Man angry, and so he chased him around, and he just went rah
the whole match. It wasn't even a match. They acted like it was a backstage match.
It was pretty squash. Like Braun Strowman just pinned JD McDonough, hit him with a power slam. Carlito's trying to get in with the Judgment Day for some reason. Finn Balor tried to stop Braun Strowman. And, I mean, for some reason, Braun Strowman come out and wanted to pick a fight with the Judgment Day, I guess. And
it really made no sense in all reality to me. I didn't, Braun Strowman has no need to be out there in that limelight,
And I want to talk about Braun Strowman's character for a second. I don't like the way they present Braun Strowman anymore. He's not entertaining. He used to be a destroyer. He used to be a genuine monster. Like he was destroying guys like Cena, like Daniel Bryan, Roman Reigns, Ryback, Brock Lesnar. I mean, he even stepped to the Undertaker and Kane at the same time back in the day, and now he runs around with nipple piercings on and a nose ring and a cowboy hat,
trying to catch the smallest guy on the roster.
Yeah, running around with no other objective in his mind. Former, like, two-time Universal Champion running around the show with no other objective in his mind other than JD McDonough hit me and it makes me angry. Come on. We can do a little bit better with Braun Strowman.
A whole lot better.
And I'm hoping when Uncle Howdy gets here and the Wyatt faction takes hold, we can get something done with Braun Strowman. Because he's a monster. He's not meant to be this jolly friend. Goes up to Ricochet. Good job, man. Who cares? Braun Strowman's not entertaining right now. Do something different. And so
that leads us into Braun Strowman's tag team partner Ricochet versus Ilya Dragunov, but that ended in no contest because Braun Breaker attacks Ricochet. This whole idea right here to me is just, I mean, I can see where they're going with it, but unless they're trying to get like Braun Breaker to go against Braun Strowman or something and Ricochet being there, so I don't know how that would work.
And also think about the people who paid to be there to watch that match between Ricochet and Ilya that night live on Monday Night Raw, just for it to end in no contest.
Like, what kind of a dog is Braun Breaker?
Braun Breaker could not get away with that stuff on SmackDown. It would never happen.
Adam Pearce has to get his show together, man.
Adam Pearce needs to get control of Braun Breaker. Or else, I guess we're just not going to watch wrestling. I guess he's just going to not follow the rules.
Yeah, he's just going to break up matches that we want to see.
I guess we're not watching Braun Breaker wrestle anytime soon.
Because I'm pissed. That would have been such a banger of a match. We did just not get to witness. The first match was so good.
It was, yeah, Ilya Dragunov, since he's come up from NXT, I'm entertained. I kind of like him. But Braun Breaker, he made a good first impression, but now he just is kind of stomping around, just like Braun Strowman, with no other thought in his mind other than to be angry.
That's what makes me think that Braun Strowman may end up facing Breaker because Breaker's been targeting Ricochet, and if he quote unquote maybe hurts him or something, then it'd be Braun Strowman versus Breaker.
That'd be a cool match.
And Braun Strowman would be putting Breaker over, I think.
That'd be a cool match, but they're gonna have to do more than go raw.
Yeah, they're gonna have to do more than scream and spear each other.
Yeah. Or else you're going on the pre-show, buddy.
Next, we got AOP defeats the Creed Brothers, and I'm just gonna go out and say on my own, I like the Creed Brothers. They're a good tag team, but they're not gonna be right now where they want to be because I mean, people like AOP, they're not the best tag team right now, but you got people like that standing in your way of becoming anything because they're trying to do something with them, because they're those big guys and this and that, but like. They do have talent. Like, I will give them that. They have really good and unclaimed talent.
And I want to be clear, the AOP, they're big guys. They look good. I like their gimmick. I like their entrance. I like everything else. But they got to win, man. And, of course, they defeat the Creed brothers. But they were on, such a losing streak before that. I don't care about the AOP right now.
Like, they were getting beat up by DIY top,
Yeah, they can look as good as they want and they can work as hard as they want, but they're not being booked to their full potential.
I think one of the main problems with the AOP is there's also way too many factions going on right now in WWE.
You're right. I don't know what's going on with that.
We have the LWO, the Legado del Fantasma. We got AOP with the Final Testament with Karrion Kross. We also have the Bloodline. You know, we got the Judgment Day. We got Damage Control.
About to be the Wyatt Six.
Yeah, we have too many factions going on to do with what
well,
they
maybe
want to do,
maybe it's not so much that it's too many factions. Maybe it's just they're either not ready for what they're gonna do with them, or they don't know what to do with them.
That, or maybe they're just not willing to take a shot or an opportunity on something.
You know, maybe at Survivor Series, some of these factions will get their chance.
That's what I'm hoping for, man. Maybe that'll happen.
And when Uncle Howdy shows up, maybe he'll get over.
Maybe that's why there is so many right now, because they're going to be there to take them out.
Was there an Uncle Howdy clue on Raw? I'm sure there was.
There was a what you call it?
Like a QR code?
Yeah, there's a QR code on Raw and SmackDown. I didn't get to see what they were this time, but Valkyria defeated Kairi Sane. I think that's a potential push for Lyra, because Kairi Sane, I mean, she is in Damage Control, and right now that is one of the more dominant female groups in WWE. So I think that'll build her with something eventually going to fight the former champion Io Sky, and that'll be credibility on her.
And that would be pretty cool, because Damage Control's really got nothing else going on. They've lost all their title after WrestleMania, and so I guess I'm ready to see what that's going to be about. And then we move into Ray versus Carlito.
I don't like this storyline.
Yeah, I don't really care. I don't.
I really think that instead of LWO versus Legado del Fantasma or whatever they're trying to do, and all these other ones, I think they should just like all be the same one. Like Carlito, Escobar, all them, even though they're on different brands right now, should just be in the same thing, because like they all keep trying to fight one-on-one each other, and it's just, you know, it's getting jumbled up everywhere.
And Carlito is not as good as he thinks he is.
Rey Mysterio was definitely doing a better part in that match than Carlito, I think.
And what was the justification for Carlito attacking Dragon Lee, right?
Yeah, I think he's just trying to become in the Judgment Day so he can have somebody to have his back against the LWO.
But why did he turn against the LWO? He was in the LWO.
I don't know. That's what I don't understand, because he got mad that he wasn't chose to be the tag team partner at WrestleMania.
Oh, okay.
And Dragon Lee was, so he attacked Dragon Lee.
Oh, okay.
So it's really like they shouldn't even done that, you know? Like they should have just left them all together.
Yeah, and
they made Carlito jealous.
Carlito's gonna go to the Judgment Day. Yeah, right.
Like, no.
Now you're just wasting my time.
Exactly.
Because Carlito's not going to the Judgment Day.
Like, that doesn't even make any sense. He doesn't fit with them. But moving on to the next thing, Big Bronson Reed beats Otis, but it was Gable's fault. Gable's about to become a true top heel in the WWE.
Stupid Otis. If he would have just listened to Chad Gable, he would have won. If he would have just listened to Chad Gable.
To be fair, Chad Gable did cost him that match.
Oh, I think it depends on what side you look at it from.
Well, if you look at it from Otis's side, would you like to be slapped as a grown man?
Well, Otis is out there gyrating his hips and doing the worm in a serious match. I really think Chad Gable he's doing what's best for the Alpha Academy. And I'm ready to see the Intercontinental Championship around Chad Gable's waist, and that's never going to happen if Otis is out there dancing and not taking the match seriously. Chad Gable will win a championship when Otis and the rest of the Alpha Academy take it seriously.
You may not be all wrong there. I got to give you that one.
So what I'm asking is, after that segment, Sami Zayn comes out and he's pleading to the Alpha Academy, please, please, don't be on Chad Gable's side. He's evil and horrible, even though he's really smart and cool, actually. And so I'm like, what the hell, you know? What's going to happen going into this feud then? Because Sami Zayn loses. Well, Sami Zayn won the triple threat in Saudi Arabia. And now we're going to Clash at the Castle, and he has no declared opponent, as far as I know.
I don't see it being anybody other than Chad Gable.
And so I really don't want Chad Gable to lose again. And let me assure you this, that if he does lose, it'll only be because of the Alpha Academy. Because Sami Zayn, you know what I mean?
It's a hot topic right there, man. Truly hot topic. That could go many ways if Otis would just listen.
And I really feel like that's going to kill Chad Gable's heat if he loses to Sami Zayn at Clash at the Castle. But I don't see Sami Zayn dropping the title soonish. You know what I mean? Maybe SummerSlam.
Yeah, maybe that's what they're trying to do. I don't know, man.
SummerSlam could be Chad Gable's moment. And that would be great.
Moving on to our main event with a banger steel cage match. Liv Morgan did retain. Braun Strowman was out there. Dirty Dom was out there. By the way, Dirty Dom is still dirty.
Man, what's a guy got to do to have it like Dirty Dom?
That match was pretty solid. I really enjoyed that match. Like, a lot of people I seen on social media were upset that it was, like females in a steel cage. But dude, they put on a show.
Who cares?
They put on work, and I really enjoyed it. And I'm never biased on matches like
Honestly,
that.
Becky Lynch and Liv Morgan are one of a couple of the few that can actually work.
Yeah.
And Dirty Dom, he needs to just mind his own business, because I think Becky Lynch might have could have handled her own business. You know what I mean?
And he's potentially looking at longer injury time now.
And Braun Strowman ran him over like a monster truck. And did Braun Strowman even catch JD McDonough?
Dude, I can't even lie to you. I do not remember. I know that
that's how insignificant it was. It's like, who cares?
Liv retains after. Okay, so Braun runs over. He runs over Dominic, and then she gets out of the ring and wins, and it just ends like that, and then they kiss.
Yeah. I think Becky Lynch is going on break after this. She's going to be gone for a while to go be a mom and stuff. So good for her.
And to be there with Seth Rollins through his injury and recovery.
Okay, we're going to transition to SmackDown now on Friday.
Nia Jax cut a promo. Piper Niven thinks that she's going to beat Bayley and face Nia. What do you think about that? I don't know how that's going to work out for Piper Niven.
Yeah, no, Piper Niven is not beating Bayley. She may have won in the tag match later on in the show, but no, you will not win at Clash of the Castle, and no, you will not go to SummerSlam. I'm sorry, but you don't make any money, Piper Niven. I'm sorry.
Piper Niven and Chelsea Green, both to me, dude, I really do not see them getting in the main event picture like that. Piper Niven may get that match just because she's from there, yeah, but this is not going to be something that they do, they just throw something together, because this is going to be a good storyline, I think. Nia Jax is queen of the ring now. Bayley's the champion. They've had beef forever, this is going to be a good line up to do with the queen of the ring thing. It's good that she gets a title match too,
Yeah. I'm not saying don't let her have her moment. I'm just saying, no, you will not go to SummerSlam.
Oh, yeah.
Not in the main event anyway. Not in the women's main event.
Because Bayley and Nia would make so much more money than Piper and Nia. That just doesn't make sense to me on the card,
So, A-Town Down Under.
Seems like they're having some theoretical problems in their group, because Ciampa beat Theory because I don't know for what reason. Waller was yelling at Michael Cole some shit about how Theory just didn't have it until he was with him.
And I'm like, what the hell, man? Because Austin Theory is very talented.
Very talented. And that caused Ciampa to push.
He beat John Cena at WrestleMania. How many people can say that?
That caused Ciampa to push Theory into Waller to get the pin to roll up. Like, they need to get their crap together as a tag champions.
Austin Theory is one of these guys like Finn Balor that could be main event players. It's just not their time, unfortunately. You know, it's not their turn.
And I've already told you before, I think it's DIY's turn to hold the title.
And I hope it is, dude. A-Town Down Under is just not that entertaining to me. Yeah, they get boos, but is anybody buying the A-Town Down Under t-shirt? I'm not. Is anybody buying the A-Town Down Under SmackDown titles? I'm not.
And Grayson Waller's got to be careful. Austin Theory is a former two-time United States champion, Mr. Money in the Bank. He is only a tag team champion, and he's acting like he wasn't relevant. Dude,
really?
He wasn't relevant until Austin Theory came up and was like, here, come
that's what I'm
me.
saying. Austin Theory is arguably the better of the two.
And he just like, they can't do that side of it because Austin Theory's the better one out of them two.
And so, I hope DIY wins. That's all I can say.
That's what I got going with me too, man.
I want DIY to have a tag team championship run.
Like a potential tag breakup that literally no one cares about.
So, Legado Legado helps Andrade win against Apollo Crews.
First of all, Apollo Crews, where you been at, my guy?
Yeah, that's what I'm like. I was like, Apollo Crews? Are you sure?
And Andrade, like, he clearly doesn't want anything to do with Legado del Fantasma. I mean, at the end, he just kind of breezed right past him like it wasn't, you know, like, that's kind of weird. Like, we were talking about the storylines earlier, how about, like, the too many faction thing is going on. That goes on SmackDown, too, you know.
And if Andrade is so cool and so talented and so awesome that the LWO wants him, the Judgment Day wants him, and Legado del Fantasma wants him, why does he need help to beat Apollo Crews, who has not been heard of or seen or thought of for I don't know how long? You're not making me believe, Andrade. I'm sorry.
Like, besides Apollo Crews, like, who else has he really beat one-on-one?
Andrade, you were not over the first time before your injury. And I'm afraid, sir, you are not over this time. Not with me.
Buddy. Next we have Paul Heyman on the mic.
And it's always a good day and a good time because Paul Heyman, he is the GOAT.
He's the best on the mic I've ever heard in my life. Facial expression and all. I don't think they're using those thugs right, though. Or Solo.
Yeah, in my opinion, Paul Heyman was the good guy in that exchange. He was really trying to warn KO, but at the same time, Paul Heyman should have been smart enough to realize that KO has the brain that's the size of a walnut, and there's no way he could understand. You know, he's going to attack the bloodline because he just doesn't know any better.
But, to be fair, everybody saw this. KO gives Roman and Usos their acknowledgement. He truly did basically tell Paul Heyman to his face that he respected them.
He called Solo and Tamatanga and Tongaloa the fake bloodline. That's pretty disrespectful, and it makes me wonder. They're planting seeds already. Coming up for Survivor Series. New bloodline versus old bloodline.
And I think a good starter match to that would be at Clash of the Castle to have Kevin Owens and Randy Orton, RKO, you know, versus the new bloodline. Technically, a.k.a. what we call the fake bloodline.
And the fake bloodline needs to go over because you guys are not on the level of Jimmy and Jay and Roman.
As we're talking about in our next topic, as the fake bloodline defeats the Street Profits.
Ooh, you defeated the Street Profits.
Y'all some thugs beat some Street Profits. What you got going for you?
Why did the Street Profits even come to the aid of Kevin Owens? Why do they want to pick a fight with the Bloodline of all people?
I don't know, man, because Bobby Lashley's apparently hurt. They don't have anything to do for him.
Oh my! How did Bobby Lashley get hurt? He doesn't wrestle.
Exactly.
He doesn't wrestle, Bobby Lashley. And that's why Bobby Lashley does not have any championship gold, because he gets hurt and he doesn't wrestle.
And he cuts crappy promos.
And he ruins another faction for all the other members. And now the Street Profits are just going to be put back to comedic relief on the low mid card. And they're just going to be the guys who are in the back, in gear, come up and say, hey, man, I'm ready to go out. And there's just not a place for you tonight, man. I'm sorry, Street Profits.
Like, the Street Profits are total fillers right now. Next up, though, we were kind of shook on this one. Chelsea and Niven beat Bayley and Naomi.
I did not expect Chelsea Green and Piper Niven to go over Naomi and Bayley, because Naomi and Bayley are both well established, like multi-time world champions, WrestleMania main eventers, sell a lot of toys, make a lot of money. They have a gimmick, dude, and it works. They're not going anywhere. But Chelsea Green and Piper Niven, not so much, bro. They're not quite as established. And so that's crazy. I really thought that was like a filler match, and then I heard the bell go off, and I turned to look and see that Chelsea Green and Piper Niven went over.
Yeah. And it was truly wild, because I figured it was just going to be Bayley and Naomi, like, you know, trying to get away from the cheating side of how Chelsea and Piper Niven fought. So, like, then it was going to be at the end, you know, like, they were going to win or something. That, you know, like, I was expecting to see one of their moves. Nope. They got taken apart by them somehow. It wasn't something I thought was going to happen.
Now, I want to talk about my favorite part of the night. I think everybody's favorite part of the night, where AJ Styles ripped Mark Henry off.
AJ Styles literally pulled a Mark Henry in a blue suit, not a salmon suit.
And
are we finna see the phenomenal Hall of Pain? Is that among us now? Is this what we're about to see?
That'd be crazy. And bro, there's always a point in those fake retirement speeches where you're like, is this real? You know? And genuinely, that last match in France that they had at Payback, that would have been a goated last match.
Such a banger. That was such a good match, man. I enjoyed every second of that match.
That is a 5-star match. I heard that was graded 5 stars. And that is just insane to me.
Well, see, it's obvious, though. I'm too old to go to the back of the line type shit. What's the easiest way to get to the front of the line? Attack the champion.
You piss the champion off.
What other way to do that and come out in a suit and invite them out there and embarrass them after you done said
you
some
make
nice
everybody cry and shit.
Cody Rhodes got real sentimental with everybody, and even AJ was about to cry, and then he stabbed him in his back.
And he really let him have it too. He stomped him out good.
Yeah, he got him. That ooh.
And it's a shame, dude. That
Styles clash he hit off the steps.
The blue suit was a nice suit, though. I'm sure it was very expensive.
But maybe we'll start seeing AJ Styles in more suits now. Maybe that's going to be what happens.
Maybe.
As far as the rest of sports entertainment, TNA Knockouts champion Jordan Grace confronts NXT Women's champion Roxanne Perez. This could be finally opening the forbidden door in pro wrestling. We could see the likes of Matt Cardona, Nick Nemeth step to the plate as Moose already has to Drew McIntyre.
And so I'm hearing that there's an upcoming pay-per-view for TNA against all odds, where an open challenge is going to be issued for Jordan Grace's championship. And people are speculating that an NXT like superstar is gonna answer the call.
I think it opens the door completely, man. This is so cool. Like we've been hearing about the Forbidden Door stuff for years watching wrestling, man. And it's just like finally getting to the point where they can actually work around it, you know? So like just imagine like say Roxanne Perez could do that, you know? Like that'd be a huge step. But also we could see stuff like Matt Cardona versus Sami Zayn, Nick Nemeth versus like Chad Gable. Like this brings so many different paths into this. It'd be a whole PLE in itself.
We've talked about it before off the podcast where MJF, his time is coming up. He's talking like he might not stay in AEW. And so we're wondering whether or not he's going to end up in TNA. And if that's the case, could we see MJF interact with WWE? Now that would be crazy.
That'd be the biggest pull of the summer if they could get that going.
And honestly, MJF is young enough, dude. He's already a star. He already makes money. He's already established. I don't really know what they're waiting for. Somebody really needs to pull the trigger on MJF because I really do think he's talented.
I want MJF versus Logan Paul for the U.S. title.
Dude, that would be so crazy. Imagine Logan Paul and MJF cutting promos. Oh my god. That would be like the most obnoxious thing ever.
That'd be some real good mic skills between the two of them.
But I think that is our time for this podcast.
That's about all we have for this one. Catch us next time.
Yep. Thank you for listening. Like and subscribe. Leave a comment. Tell us something, man. Tell us something about WWE that we didn't know. Tell us we were wrong.
Give us anything. Who's your favorite wrestler? Who do you hate the most in wrestling?
We want to know what you think so we can talk about it.
This is live reactions. We gonna react.
So, Fan Connection Podcast, we're out of here.